How we doing, guys? Welcome to the Friday Waffle, and once again I'm actually recording this on Thursday because I'm going out tomorrow night to a pub to get drunk, so I thought I'd better get this out before, get it out early. Well, by the time you watch this it's going to be Friday and I shall hopefully be rather drunk. So trust you've had a good week. I've had another busy week at work. Weather wise you might not hear it enough, but it's been blowing a hoolie, which is a Scottish term for hurricane winds. Apparently Hurricane Abigail was predicted in Scotland today from 6 o'clock, but to be honest it's nothing worse than a normal winter's day or autumn day in Scotland. You know, we get plenty of wind up here. So yeah, I've had a busy week. Sorry, I'm talking, covering my mouth there, which isn't a very good idea. I mentioned last week I had my ultra race. What day was it? Saturday. It was an early start. I was up at 5:30. In fact, I tell a lie, I left the house at 5:30 to get up to Killin. It's about an hour and a half drive, got to register. So the race started at 8 o'clock and I'm delighted to say I finished it. Time was it 6 minutes slower than last year, but considering how little running I've done this year, it's kind of hopefully finished this year in a bit of a high. It's given me a bit of a kickstart to my West Highland Way race training for next year, hopefully. So yeah, anyway, enough of my running, because you don't tune in to listen to me talk about running. What else? What have I been doing this week? Gaming wise, what have I been playing? Have I been playing anything? Yeah, I have. In fact, I'm not going to tell you what I'm playing because it's kind of... in fact, yeah, let's just start with this. When is a game not a game? That sounds like a bit of a daft question, but the reason I'm asking is the game, or game in inverted commas, that I'm referring to here is, there's a game which I featured in a video called Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Now it's not the sequel to Bioshock, because Rapture was the sort of the town or the city, I think it was, in Bioshock. No, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is an indie game released, I think it was just on the PS4. It's set in 1985 Britain. Specifically, I think it's set, I'm trying to say this without making an arse of myself, set in Shropshire, a quaint little leafy village in England, and yeah, it's 1985, and basically when you appear in the game, there's been some hideous outbreak of some nasty disease, illness, plague, whatever it is. I'm not quite sure. I'm maybe 2 hours into the game. But yeah, I was actually, after playing it last night, I thought I'm going to read a review of it and see what they say. And a lot of people were giving it like 0 out of 10, saying it's not a game, it's a lot of crap. And the reason being is, the game itself, now I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but the game itself is absolutely gorgeous looking. Go to YouTube. I mean, I think I did make a video out, put a video out for it, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Have a look at it for yourself. It's an absolutely gorgeous looking game. Some people have actually referred to it as a tech demo rather than a game, because there are so far there are no other characters in the game, and apparently it's a very, very linear sort of gameplay mechanic. You can wander about the landscape. You can't really, other than open doors, switch lights on, or open some doors I should say, switch lights on, and listen to the radio. You can't do anything else. You don't get to see yourself. There are no weapons, you can't run, there are no other people. There's nothing in it other than this sort of static English village, and you have to basically wander about, and like, I'm not going to give you any more information on it, because you know, if you're going to play it, I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, people were completely panning it, saying it's not a game, you know, it's like a tech demo type thing. But it kind of got me thinking about, what is a game? What terms a game? What terms a computer game? I mean, I would say a computer game is whereby you're interacting with graphics of some sort on a screen, whether it's Robotron, whether it's Gears of War, whether it's a text adventure, it's still a game. I mean, what is game? What does game stand for? I don't know. I need to look up the Oxford Dictionary. I'm guessing game is a pastime that I was going to say you enjoy. It's something. You know what? I don't know what a game would stand for, but yeah, as far as a video game, to my mind, I would say it's where you're interacting, whether it's through the keyboard, joystick, voice activation, movement, whatever. You're interacting with it, and it's how you interact with this will change how or what movement occurs on the screen. Yeah, that's a bit deep, isn't it? But yeah, that's what I would term a game. I mean, I don't think you could say specifically what a game is. I would say that is what a game is. And if that's the case, using my terminology, I would say that Everybody's Going to Rapture absolutely is a game. Yeah, you may not kill people, you may not fight, you maybe don't press buttons. I mean, when you actually think about it, if you strip back even, I don't know, the most advanced current game, let's take, just take, Halo. We'll go for Halo. Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes, I can see it in your smile. Yeah. When you think about it, Halo, all you're doing is you're moving up and down, left and right, and you're pressing a fire button. That is basically it. Yeah, in the case of Halo and most third-person shooters, you've obviously got the twin stick. So one is up, down, left and right, another one kind of turns your head. But ultimately, you're just controlling movement, and that is really no more advanced than, say, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a game. Let me think. Give me a game. Pac-Man. Pac-Man, for example. Pac-Man, up, down, left, and right. You control this little sprite. That was a good poetry there. Up, down, left, and right. You control a little sprite. I'm on fire tonight. Yeah. So Pac-Man really has very similar controls to Halo. Other than it's got two sticks. You've got a fire button as well, obviously, but most games, when you strip them right back to their bare controls, they're very, very similar. So in the case of this, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, yep, it's up, down, left and right, and you can also turn as well. The only difference between that and Halo is Rapture doesn't have anything to kill or that. So yeah, I would still say it is a game. Equally, on the flip side of all the criticism that the game got, a lot of people were saying it's the most amazing game they've ever played. I wouldn't go that far, but I've got to say the graphics are astonishing. You really feel like you're there. One thing that appeals to me hugely is, again, if you follow this channel on a regular basis, there's a video that I put out. What was it called again? Memories of the Cold War, Teenage Memories of a Cold War, I think I called it. And it was basically my memories of growing up in a 1980s Britain when the threat of a nuclear war was very, very much a reality. It really was. And this game actually kind of makes me feel like it takes me back to that 1980s. If you could imagine a nuclear bomb going off in England and you are living maybe away from the blast, but you live in a little village, maybe say the bomb drops on London and the fallout eventually wipes out most of the population of England. This is what I would imagine it would be like. There's just you and there's this village, you go into a pub and there's like, I half full beer glasses, you go into people's houses and there's dinner on the table and things like that. Yeah, that's what that game really reminds me of. It kind of makes it feels like a, you know, post atomic, post nuclear war, what it'd be like to be alive in England. And it's again, without wanting to spoil it, you have to kind of interact, listen to radio broadcasts, and if you pick up the phone, you just get this kind of really, really poor quality, fuzzy, plenty static, excuse me, American accent of somebody kind of calling out numbers, and it's just thinking about it right now gives them a bit of a shiver. It's really, really atmospheric. So yeah, there's a lot of people that say it's a lot of crap, it's not a game. To me, it's about the experience. Any game, any video game, what you take away from it, what you get out. So, you know, whether it's a shoot 'em up game, you get into the zone and, you know, the excitement of it. If you can take something away from playing that game, then it's been a worthwhile exercise. And just because you don't shoot or kill things, it makes it no less a game, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, think about Dragon's Lair. That was effectively interactive in the most tenuous sense of the word. You press a button at the right moment and it does something else. Another game that was kind of similar, which again came in for criticism, but equally came in for a lot of praise, was Heavy Rain on the PS3. I've played it briefly, and it's one of these games that I keep meaning to go back to and play. And like everything else, I simply never get back to actually taking part in it. So hang on a wee second. So I reckon it's as much a game as anything. Yeah, Heavy Rain. Sorry, I was talking about Heavy Rain. I should. How can I forget when I look outside the window and that's all you see? But yeah, Heavy Rain is again, it's very, very linear again. You know, it feels like a sandbox game, but it's not really. You know, you can only go. It's one of these games. It's designed in a very clever fashion that makes you feel like you've got complete freedom, but you don't really. But yeah, again, it's all about the atmosphere. You know, games don't have to be fast paced with lots of guns and death to be enjoyable. So obviously, it's, you know, this Everybody's Going to Rapture. It's obviously one of these games, programs, call it what you will, that it's not going to appeal to everybody, you know. But yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. If you like something a wee bit different, I would definitely recommend checking it out. It's worth it even just, I mean, the graphics are absolutely gorgeous. Really, really nice. So anyway, yeah. I can't not mention Fallout 4. Everywhere you go in the last probably month, wherever you go, there's adverts on bus stops, in the papers, everywhere for Fallout 4. I've never seen as much advertising for a game than I have for Fallout 4. Now, one of the forums, or not one of the forums, I'm only really a member of one forum that I'm on all the time. Everybody's been going absolutely apeshit about this Fallout 4. It's the best thing ever, you know. They can't stop talking about it. And I thought to myself, I appear to be the only person that has got absolutely no interest in the game. And I'm just wondering, you know, am I unique? I don't think I am. I think the thing for me, now I've been caught out quite a few times. One of my mates was telling me that he put in something like 55 hours into Fallout 3 on the Xbox 360, and he'd only completed something like 15% of it. You know, 55 hours, 15%. Alright, it might have been crap at the game, I don't know. But as much as I love my video games, I just couldn't imagine playing a game for that amount of hours. I'm not taking anything away from people that do put that amount of time in, but I just kind of think to myself, as much as I love my video games, that's awful lot of time to devote on something that to me is ultimately a bit pointless. Probably a bit rich coming from me, considering all I do is talk about video games and play video games. But yeah, I've got too many other games I want to play, and that's why I don't get involved in these big, massive, time-consuming games. I mean, you've got stuff like Mass Effect 3 and 4, or Mass Effect 2 and 3, even the GTA 5, which I bought. That was a bit of a mistake. Grand Theft Auto 5, I bought that full price, and I played it for, I don't know, I maybe played it for maybe 5 hours, and then I just kind of go, I didn't get bored with it. I played it one night, and then the next night I didn't play it, and then before I knew it, it'd been 2, 3, 4 weeks I hadn't played it, and the thought of going back to a game like that now, I'm like, nah, can't be bothered. But I think for me is I've just got other things I want to do in my time, like everybody else. I've got a job, I've got a family, I've got commitments. I've got my running, obviously, which I'm now back doing again. And video games is just a part of that. And there's too much else I want to do with my time than devote it to one game. Not knocking video games, but when I hear people kind of like talking about, oh, they've completed this game, and they've completed that game, and they've completed this game, I kind of think to myself, so what? What's achievement? Yeah, I totally understand there is an achievement when you finally complete a game. Possibly in the same way as when you get to the end of a book, you go, well, that was good. But ultimately, in the scale of what's important in life, I think to myself, completing a video game isn't really that important. But like I said, I think I sound like an old fuddy-duddery person who doesn't like video games, and that is not me. But anyway, yeah, I won't be buying Fallout 4. I'm one of these guys, I read a lot, I hear people talking about how it's the best game since sliced bread, and then I think, stuff it, I'll buy it, and then I know after a few weeks it will just sit there and never get played. And so for that reason I will not be buying it, because I don't want to have to spend hours playing it, because I know I won't play it and ultimately it will be a waste of money. I'll probably pick it up for £10 in 6 months time, even though I'll never play it. But yeah, talking about Fallout 4, now we've had this, we've had this chat. A chat is when somebody else talks back to you. I've spoke about this before, digital downloads. I was on my PS4 last night, and I just went in to check to see if PlayStation Plus games were out, and Fallout 4 was obviously advertised, and I noticed the Fallout 4 Plus Season Pack digital download, £74.99. Yep, that is 1 penny less than £75. £75. Now, before you start shouting at the monitor and saying, yeah, but £75 is, I paid 40 quid for my SNES Street Fighter, all these years ago. You're absolutely right, probably £75 in today's money is less than 40 quid back then. But I just can't help thinking, £75. I could imagine, now I know it's really got nothing to do with anything, but I could imagine the reaction on telling a non-gaming person that you've just spent 75 quid on a video game. I think the problem we've got, probably £75, if, let's just go back a second, what I was talking about. If you get 100 hours out of your game, and you've spent 75 quid in it, then that is going to be 75 pence an hour entertainment, which isn't bad at all. So if you think about it like that, I suppose it's absolutely not bad. But again, for somebody like myself who would buy it and then not play it, it would be a complete waste of money. But yeah, it's mental. I've always think back to like when I wanted an Atari 2600. It was £100, and there was just simply no way my mum and dad were ever going to buy me it. £100. It seemed back in the late 70s, early 80s, £100 when I wasn't working, seemed like this mythical figure that I would never ever own. You know, £100 was like, you know, £1,000,000, and here we are, where, you know, people are paying £25 less than that for one game. Crazy, but yeah, like I says, I suppose if you work it out, the amount of hours and enjoyment you get out of it, then I suppose £74 for 100 hours isn't actually that bad value. So, yep. Anyway, what else? So yeah, I'm probably the only person not to get excited with Fallout 4, or am I? What percentage of your gaming time a week would you say you devote to new games over old games? As I've mentioned before, I don't actually play that many video games. I like to talk about them a lot. I like to watch videos of other people playing them. I like to collect them, but I don't actually spend that much time playing video games. I mean, how many hours a week do I spend playing video games? It's really hard to tell. I would say maybe 5 hours a week, something like that. Maybe less, maybe slightly more sometimes. It just depends what I'm up to. But out of that, what is the percentage of new games to old games? It's hard to tell. I would probably say about maybe 20 to 30% of my time is spent playing modern games, you know, anything on the PS4, PC, and the rest of the time is probably spent playing older systems, MAME, my C64, Amiga, anything else, my handhelds as well. So yeah, how much time do you spend on games, and what would you say a percentage of old to new is? Be interested to hear that. As I've mentioned before, guys, I've been offloading, not offloading, I've been selling a lot of bits and pieces that I wasn't using. I mean, what did I sell? I sold my 32X, which I simply never ever used. Oh, what else did I sell? I sold a broken Amiga 600. I sold a Amiga 600 memory expansion. What else did I sell? I sold a Game Boy Advance Micro because I got myself a new one. Yeah, so I've been selling quite a bit of stuff. I've been selling games and that kind of stuff as well, and buying a few bits and pieces now. I did actually put a video of this. Well, if you're watching this on Friday, I did put a video on, was it Wednesday I think it was, and it is one of these, the Game Boy Advance SP. Absolutely gorgeous little bit of kit, it really is. Let's turn the bloody thing on. What makes it unique is it's got a lovely backlit screen. Really, really nice. This is a fantastic wee machine, it really is. It's got, you know, it feels so good when you're actually playing the thing. It's so portable. I said you can just close it, put it in your pocket. You're not going to damage the screen because it's all self-contained. So yeah, I bought that. I've also, what else have I got coming? There's a Android tablet now. People, again, if you watch this channel, you probably know that I like a good handheld for playing my emulators. I did own the Nvidia Shield, which I sold because the screen was a bit too wee. Then I bought the GXD 7800, I can't remember what the hell it's called. But there's a new one that was getting kind of touted on the interwebs, and it's called the GPD XD. And it is very, very similar looking to the Nintendo 3DS. It looks almost identical, apart from one big thing. Obviously it doesn't have two screens, it's only got the one screen, which is on the top. But it looks really nice. Some companies, who are not biased honestly, were saying it was the best Android emulating system you could buy. So I was going to buy it, and when I realised the size of the screen, I thought to myself, I'm not going to be able to play, it's not going to be that good for playing vertical games, stuff like Donkey Kong, Terra Cresta, Dodonpachi, any vertical shooter, 1942, any of these games is going to look awfully wee. So I've kind of held off buying it until yesterday. This website, I'm not going to tell you because I don't like to advertise, they were doing the GPD XD. It comes in 3 flavours. You've got 16 gig of memory, you've got 32 gig and 64 gig. The 16 gig one is selling for £150 and the 32 gig is £180. Excuse me. One of my mates sent me a link last night for the 32, which I says in the UK it's 180. It's selling for £99, which is a princely saving of £80. So you know what? I thought to myself, stuff it. I was kind of sitting on the fence with it. I really wasn't sure. Did I go for it? Did I not go for it? But you know what? For 99 quid, I'm going to take a punt on it. I'm sure it will be really good. It remains to be seen how much I use it. But the thing is, because I've paid 80 quid less, then it means that I can probably sell it on and easily make my money back, if not make a bit of profit as well. So yeah, that was instead of 180 quid, I'm getting it for £99, as long as I don't get stuck. Apparently you can't get stung with customs importing from China, but you can get hit with VAT. If you're unlucky enough, the H&M excise, whatever it is, customs and excise, they will do a random sample of parcels, and if you're unlucky to get caught, then it'll be an extra, is it 20% VAT, something like that. So I'm sure even if I did get caught, I would still be probably saving quite a bit of money. But if it's rubbish, which I don't think it's going to be, if I don't use it, then I'll sell it and I'm sure I'll make my money back. So yeah, I've got that coming. I ordered that yesterday. It's coming from China, as I've just mentioned there. So it's there's always a bit of risk buying from China. No disrespect to any Chinese people, but when you're buying something so far away, you're kind of buying from the unknown. You really haven't got a clue. You haven't got any real idea, as to what you're buying. I mean, I bought myself one of these GoPro things. Well, it wasn't a GoPro. It's called a Dasny, which is very similar to the GoPro, modelled on the same thing. And I got that again for a fraction of the price that it's selling on Amazon. So yeah, it's it did arrive. It took about 3 weeks to arrive. So that's the only thing. You've got to be patient. And I think it's easy to think, I'm not going to get this, I've been ripped off, whatever, but it did turn up and absolutely delighted with it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this GPD thing. I ordered it, I placed the order yesterday, and in fact it's quite funny because one of my mates, he was the guy that told me about it. He's actually ordered one from China as well. So I said to him today, let's have a £5 bet to see who turns up first. Whoever turns up first, the other person gives the other guy a fiver. So I noticed mine has been dispatched, so hopefully it'll arrive before Ian's will. So yeah. Right guys, that is all the topics I've got to talk about. To finish off, I've just got one question again from Kevin. Thanks Kevin, always appreciate your questions. There seems to be a complete lack of questions from anybody else. Anybody that watches this waffle, and I know there are quite a few of you seem to quite like it, please give me some stuff to talk about. It can be difficult trying to come up with stuff, especially stuff that's interesting. Invariably I start to just talk shite and talk about completely unrelated gaming stuff. So if you've got anything at all, any thoughts, ideas, views on anything you want to hear me talk about, please have a think, put your questions below, and I shall always, 100% I will always reply to any question. I may not always be able to talk for very long depending on what it is, but I promise you I will always reply to any questions. So have a think guys and put your question below. But anyway, back to Kevin, down the rabbit hole. For the Friday Waffle, hi Alan, I loved your Game Boy Micro review. It made me dust off my own for a few rounds of play. I'm curious what you think of playing fighting games in it. You also have a Neo Geo Pocket handheld, correct? I did have. Is the Game Boy Micro's D-pad better or worse than the Neo Geo thumbstick when used in fighting games? I have a confession to make, Kev. Now I thought I'd mentioned this. It would be hard to tell because I've sold the Game Boy. I've sold the Neo Geo Pocket for the simple reason is I've never used it. The other part of this is I'm not a Street Fighter fan. I would love to be. It's one of these games that I watch other people playing, and I always really think that I should love it. It's like football games. I watch football games. Technically, I should love football games. I loved Sensei, but for the life of me, I just cannot get into like FIFA, and I can't get into beat 'em up games. I think again, it goes back to the Fallout 4 thing I was talking about. It requires too much investment in my time, and that's why I don't play these games. But I do know that the Neo Geo thumbstick, it's very clicky. It really is. It's click click click. You know, it's the clickiest joystick you'll ever play. Apparently, it's excellent for fighting games, which is good because the Neo Geo Pocket primarily had fighting games, so they had to make a controller that was good. I can imagine it being good at that because I mean I know is it the fireball from Ryu or Ken. You do, you know, swivel from left to right and then one of the fire buttons. Trying to do that in a gamepad wouldn't be that easy, I wouldn't think. But yeah, the little Neo Geo Pocket thing, it's like a little nub rather than a joystick, and it's just really clicky. I wish I had it here to actually show you, but I don't. It's now been sold. So yeah, I can imagine it's meant to be excellent for fighting games. But I can't honestly comment personally because I never really used it. But yeah, I would say that is probably better than the Game Boy Micro gamepad. Gamepads obviously, I can imagine being quite difficult to actually try and pull off some of the special moves. But yeah, what else are you saying here, Kev? Also, which Street Fighter title do you prefer in Game Boy Advance, Alpha 3 or Turbo Revival? Again, sorry Kev, I really can't. I feel like I'm contradicting what I've just said about asking me questions. This particular one, Street Fighter, again, it says I don't play it, so I can't even begin to comment on what my favourite one is because I don't play any of these games on the Game Boy Micro. I know is it Stuart Ashens. I think he goes on about Alpha 3 as being the best, but again I really can't comment. And Kev goes on to say here, I confess I prefer Turbo Revival, but only because Chun-Li wears her original outfit in that game, which is probably a very silly reason to prefer one cartridge over the other. No, not at all, Kev. I can totally get what you're saying with that. And that is it, guys. I've got nothing else to talk about. I did touch on last week about kind of losing my mojo a wee bit with the channel. Again, it comes back to lack of time, and I have been I don't want to admit, I have been struggling a wee bit in getting content out there. You know, putting out Arcade Perfect, my RCs and all that kind of thing. I just don't have the time to do these type of videos at the moment. That's why the stuff I've been putting out have been kind of quite short videos, stuff like Mamemeister look-ats and games, why I love games like that, mashups and that kind of stuff. And the same with the Blimey It's Only. I've been trying to. I keep talking to John Studley about getting him on, and we keep saying, "Yep, we'll meet up," and it never quite happens. It's just one of these. It's like life. You see somebody you've not met for years up at the local shopping centre, and you say to them, "Yeah, we'll get out for a pint. We'll get out for a pint," and you know you firmly believe you're going to do that, and then when it comes to it, you realise 6 months has gone by. And you've never gone out for that pint, and it's exactly the same way doing some of these videos. We're all busy, we've all got our real life to to occupy us, sort of thing. So I can say, I'm not going to tell you what, but there is one video that I'm planning to be making with another fellow YouTuber. All I'm going to say is he's much better than myself. So yeah, watch this space. We're planning to do a bit of a collaboration on something which I'm not even going to talk about at the moment, but we're hoping to try and get together in the next couple of weekends and get something put out. So I'm looking forward to that because I really do enjoy these collaboration videos. I think I think that's why, one thing I've noticed, a lot of YouTube channels, the ones that are entertaining, is when there's more than one person, because it is quite limiting when you're doing what I'm doing here just now. You're sitting in a chair and you're talking to an inanimate object. It can be quite difficult, and it's hard to get a rapport going with something when there's nobody actually talking back to you. So channels where you find there's two people, they can bounce ideas off. You've got a bit of, banter going on, sort of thing. So that's why I really do enjoy these kind of talky type videos when I'm talking to somebody else. So anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this video out. It's hopefully going to take place in the next 2-3 weeks, but that's all I'm going to say, guys. So yeah, that's it. Anyway, listen, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a nice weekend. As usual, please put any comments below, and please, 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 any questions at all that you've got, if you want my thoughts or feelings or ideas about anything, please put it below. And I said, if you enjoy watching it and you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate hitting that subscribe button. Please like my videos, because that helps to kind of pull traffic in as well. And very lastly, guys, thank you very much for watching.
Thanks for watching my Mamemeister channel. Please feel free to like, comment or subscribe. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter.